Hey everybody, you're watching Edify Productions, and today I have a very cool little lens to show you. This is the Nikon 50mm f1.8 AIS. This is a pancake 50mm lens from late 70s, early 80s, and this is a client's lens that they have commissioned me to clean out completely and adjust the focus ring and declick the aperture ring. I've wanted to use one of these lenses for a very long time, but I already had the 51.4, so I didn't want to spend money on the 1.8 and then just have an extra 50, because I also plan on buying the 51.2, and I'm not getting rid of my 1.4 for sentimental reasons, so I don't want to have a trio of 50mm lenses. But I'll be doing a full overhaul on this lens today. This is a very, very small lens. This is one of the smallest, if not the smallest, f-mount lens that Nikon has ever made. And here is the 105 f2 DC for size comparison. It's a very stark difference, and you already saw the 51.4 size comparison. It's impressive they got such a well-performing and nice lens in such a small package. This is the original Japanese metal version, not the newer American plastic piece of junk, and not the Series E plastic piece of junk. So, without further ado, let's get started. And as always, we are starting with the mount. Well, this looks like it took a bit of a fall. You can see the dent there and how the plate is a little bit rising up. And now, as you can see here, this lens has some pretty nasty fungus. And then from the front of the lens, hopefully you can see some of the dust that's in there. It's probably not showing very well. Oh, there we are. So this is getting a full cleaning. And the focus ring is really, really dry, so that's also getting a full overhaul. And there's our mount. Wow, now this is actually really interesting. So I'm sure by now you see that shiny gold. There we go. I'm sure you see the shiny gold. That's all brass that just hasn't been treated. Wow, that's a very interesting choice on Nikon's part. And the clicking for the aperture ring is completely different from every other Nikon I've ever seen, probably due to just how thin the aperture ring is. The click is actually, well, now I gotta open this back up, is actually up here instead of on the side. Usually it would be here and here. That's really cool. And I really like that brass coloring. It's really nice. And now for the front of the lens. And there's our bare internals. There's our helicoid. It's a very interesting lens. Because of its tiny size, it really is moving a lot of glass, like a lot of distance with just a very tiny ring. Okay, so this silver piece that you use to grab the lens is actually used as the focus limiter. So we move this out here. You can see there is the stop, and there's the other stop that the focus ring will run into to keep it in its range. So now that that's off, I'm going to mark the hole that was on so that I know that's the one that takes this, and we're going to take that all the way off. Okay, so I put a mark there. Wow, you can tell this grease was very, very old. And I think that underneath that is brass, since it's so gold. Oh, and there that goes. I want to make sure that stays in place first, though, so I can make sure it gets marked. Quite a lens. Okay, so let's remove that, and definitely brass, because that's really, really soft to scratch. All right. What an interesting little optical block. That's really cool. I just love that they kept it gold. Neat. Okay, and now we're going to clean the optics in here, get the elements out, and then I'll clean the exterior of both this and the rest of the components. This is all of the main mechanical parts. It's a pretty simple lens, and actually I really like this. It's a very nice design. There's our first element assembly here. I'm going to take a look, see if there's any dust or fungus on these. There's a little bit of dust that I'll clean off. It's actually a light haze starting to form, the very beginnings of it, so I'm going to get rid of that before it actually starts to accumulate. Now it's nice and clean. Now let's take a look at this assembly. This is where all of the trash is. I'm not entirely certain what side these are all on, but it opens from the back, so I'm going to put a mark and then get started back there. Be very careful to get the proper orientation here. And the inside is a beautiful shiny brass that hasn't had any age or wear to it, simply because there was glass there before. And the inside of this is also beautiful shiny brass. So let's get started with the cleaning. That element is now perfectly clean and clear. And we just finished cleaning this here. Everything is nice and clear. So I can now clean the outside of this and then clean the focusing helicoid, and I can put the lens back together. I still absolutely love the brass coloring. I'm so glad Nikon didn't make this out of aluminum or chrome it. And there we go, we have our nice clean helicoid and our nice clean glass, and we're ready to clean the focus ring. So here we have our freshly finished and reassembled lens. Absolutely beautiful action. The aperture ring needs declicked since that's what this client requested. But wow, is this a fantastic piece of machinery. I hope you enjoyed the montage. That might be the standard for videos like this from now on that aren't disassembly tutorials or specific modification tutorials. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Now, for some reason, I still don't know why, I might have mentioned this earlier, this is like 3 hours after the last the last time I sat at my desk. The front plate looks brand new, all bright white and nice, and then the side, it's all aged and yellow, and I don't know why. But, whatever. This is a very nice lens. I got to play around with it and test it on my EOS R, and it looks great on the Nikon FE. Like, this is a very nice lens. It performs well. Even wide open, it looks very nice. It's tiny. I still cannot believe how small this is, and it can still focus all the way to 0.45 meters. It's just an awesome little piece of vintage lens technology. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you everybody for watching. If you want to see more content similar to this kind of, if you want to see more content similar to this, subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.